The mid-14th century witnessed one of the most devastating pandemics in human history, the Black Death. A disease of unprecedented lethality, it swept across Asia, Europe, and North Africa, claiming the lives of an estimated 75 to 200 million people. The plague was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, a microbe unknown to the European population at the time. Its arrival marked a profound and irreversible turning point, fundamentally reshaping the demographic, social, economic, and cultural fabric of the known world. The pandemic's sheer scale and speed created a state of panic and despair, challenging existing societal structures and belief systems in a way no previous event had. The immediate and most visible effect of the Black Death was, of course, the catastrophic loss of life. In many regions, particularly densely populated urban centers, mortality rates were staggering, often reaching 30–50% of the population. This demographic collapse led to an immense labor shortage, a factor that would prove to be a powerful catalyst for change. With fewer people to work the land and provide essential services, the balance of power shifted from the landowning aristocracy to the surviving peasant and working classes. Peasants, no longer tied to the land by the same oppressive feudal obligations, could demand higher wages and better working conditions. This newfound leverage was a direct challenge to the feudal system, which had been the bedrock of medieval European society for centuries. The economic consequences of the plague were both immediate and long-lasting. The severe labor shortage led to a sharp increase in wages for skilled and unskilled workers alike. In response, landowners attempted to freeze wages and restrict peasant mobility through legislation, such as the English Statute of Laborers of 1351. However, these efforts were largely unsuccessful as the fundamental principles of supply and demand proved too powerful to overcome. The rising cost of labor, combined with a diminished consumer base, encouraged a shift away from traditional agricultural practices and towards more diversified economies. Land previously used for intensive grain farming was converted to pasture for sheep, as wool production required less labor. This agricultural transformation, coupled with the rising wealth of the merchant and artisan classes, laid the groundwork for the decline of feudalism and the emergence of a new economic order. Socially, the Black Death shattered existing hierarchies and norms. The arbitrary nature of the disease, which seemed to strike down rich and poor, pious and sinner alike, led to widespread disillusionment and a questioning of religious authority. Many people interpreted the plague as divine punishment, leading to an increase in religious fervor, flagellant movements, and persecution of minority groups, particularly Jewish communities. However, the Church's inability to stop the plague or explain its cause also eroded its credibility. This spiritual crisis, combined with the newfound economic power of the common person, fueled social mobility. The plague opened up opportunities for individuals to inherit property and positions that would have previously been unattainable. The disruption of established social structures provided fertile ground for new ideas and challenged the rigid class distinctions that had long defined medieval life. In the long term, the Black Death profoundly influenced cultural and intellectual life. The immense suffering and mortality of the era found expression in art and literature. The danse macabre, or dance of death, became a popular artistic motif, a stark reminder of the universality of death and the fleeting nature of life. In education, the closure of monastic schools and universities due to illness and death led to a decline in Latin scholarship. While vernacular languages gained prominence, the focus shifted from scholasticism and abstract theological debates to a more practical worldly education. This intellectual shift, along with the demographic and economic changes, created a new environment that was more receptive to innovation and new ways of thinking. The Black Death was not merely a tragic event, it was a watershed moment that irrevocably altered the course of human history, paving the way for the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the foundations of the modern world.